Hello there. The government will soon be throwing asylum seekers out of hotels, but they will still be here and probably living closer to you. The government's new pledge to empty hotels of asylum seekers comes as bittersweet news, because as the hotels are emptied, if they ever really are, local authorities will be required to take up the slack and house these most welcome doctors, nurses and neurologists. The sheer audacity of the government's position here is plain to see, as they try to convince the electorate that they are dealing with the problem of putting these newcomers in hotels, when in fact it is a problem that they themselves created. And this is what the government tries to call taking back control of our borders after Brexit. But the government has refused point blank to do anything that would really work to A. stop the rubber boats and B. bring down the ever-burgeoning level of inward net migration. In short, the Tory government has no handle on either legal nor illegal immigration. They are both on a seemingly unstoppable upward trajectory. And the only conclusion we're left with is that either they've lost the plot or the plot is to keep the borders wide open. Personally, I think the latter carries the more credibility. And now we're being gaslit into believing that the Tories are doing something about this mess by shutting down a few plush hotels where we've been accommodating many of these new arrivals. In a statement to the House of Commons, the Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick said that hotel contracts for this growing business model that keeps some businesses in clover would be shut down. Shut down in all four corners of the UK, with the current numbers being England 363 hotels, Northern Ireland 20 hotels, Scotland 10 hotels and Wales 2 hotels, giving a total of 395 hotels, housing over 50,000 newcomers at a cost in the financial year of April 2022 to March 2023 of 2.3 billion quid. And there are a lot of businesses that do very well out of this new trade in people. The Mail is running an exclusive headlined, "The £60 million Migrant Hotel King. Caravan Park Tycoon's firm records a fortune in profits after taxpayers handed it £3.5 million a day last year to house asylum seekers." As the numbers of boats crossing the channel surged, so did his profits. And the Mail says that Graham King, a former caravan park and disco tycoon, and his company Clear Springs are confident that this revenue stream will continue. Well, according to the report, it does have a contract with the government set to last until September 2029, with Clear Springs accounts saying that it is looking to expand its involvement in large non-hotel accommodation sites such as ex-army camps. So if hotels are shut down, the occupants will, it seems, be shifted into camps. That, Mr. Jenrick, is not taking back control of our borders. It is proof that the government has lost all control. And that's just one company. Anyway, where are those people going to live once they are turfed out of their comfy hotels? To put it plainly, they will be knocking on the doors of their local councils, who will have the obligation to find them accommodation. And there are always human rights lawyers on hand to ensure these people get everything they want. So taxpayers' money will still be funding their accommodation, but at a different tier of government and in different housing. But what sort of housing is the question. And one wonders if that 2.3 billion quid that the central government has forked out on hotels via the Home Office will now get divvied out to those councils who agree to provide housing for asylum seekers. because that money has to come from somewhere, via the tax burden as always. Will we eventually see the local council system start requisitioning the very hotels the Home Office was running once available camps and local housing stock has run dry? And while this is going on, a coalition of charities and groups has put forward a plan for the UK to take thousands of Gaza refugees, despite neither Egypt nor Jordan or indeed any other country in the region wanting to take a single one of them. They must all think that it is far safer for the people of Gaza to stay exactly where they are. Either that, or they deliberately want to put the people of Gaza in direct danger for some or other reason. Do the other states in the region think that there's some sort of political advantage to keeping the people of Gaza locked in? Or do they fear the outcome of receiving them? Have they got some sort of phobia? Remember that other than Israel, only the sea and Egypt borders on Gaza. Now, I know there are some out there who either support Hamas in its quest for the destruction of Israel, or who don't understand that that is exactly what Hamas wants. But I will not apologise for supporting Israel's right to survive, thrive and defend itself. So why not open the Rafah crossing, take the refugees into Egypt, and then other regional states could take a share? But that sort of plan is never discussed. It's only ever the West that is required to engage. Anyway, at the moment the government is resisting this push to take Gaza refugees, saying we need to get UK citizens out of danger first. But in the end, this government always seems to cave in where importing more people is concerned. However, would we see integration and thanks? Or what exactly? In the meantime, Hamas is releasing a slow dribble of now 4 of the hostages it has taken in order to keep the international community demanding that Israel takes no immediate action to destroy the Hamas terrorist organisation. Yet another cynical move by Hamas, in the hope that they can get foreign governments to help them survive to commit atrocities on another day. And the very fact they are releasing hostages and openly telling us they are doing so holds below the waterline any conspiracy theory that Hamas did not commit atrocities in Israel earlier this month. Hostages to be used, as they are being used, as bargaining chips. I don't see any indication that the much vilified Israel is doing anything akin to that. And those that want to claim they are morally superior by not taking sides and calling for a ceasefire, they are just fueling more Hamas atrocities by giving that terrorist organisation more time to regroup and rearm, probably assisted by rifling any aid we send into Gaza. Hamas must now be completely shut down, and shut down permanently. Anything less is a humanitarian failure. And for those that call the Gaza Strip the world's largest open prison, I say it is the prison that Hamas built.